Hi, hello, namaskara. Myself Mahesh Prasad from Department of Physics. As you know, well, dear students, we are in a chapter that is nothing but thermal properties of matter, right? So far, we have discussed about many concepts under this particular topic, like the expansion of a solid. Under this, we have discussed linear expansion, area expansion, as well as volume expansion of a solid, right? And also, we have seen different conversion of a scale with respect to its temperature. So today we will discuss about one of the interesting topic, that is nothing but the thermal expansion of liquid as well as gases. Do you think liquid will expand when the heat is applied over there? Yes or no? Might be yes or might be no. That we will discuss today. So now before we get into our actual phenomena or the things, I have to say something. So how we can get there is expansion of a liquid will take place. So compared to solid, liquid actually which is having a greater expansion than a solid. How? We'll discuss. So there is a vessel which is there in my hand, and your job is to pour a water, not water, any liquid, whichever comes to your mind. You just pour a liquid and which is there on the board. Okay, so your job is to fill a liquid up to a point A. Say it is a point A. So this is how exactly we are supposed to fill a liquid. Okay, so imagine there is a liquid inside the vessel. So this is a bulb shaped vessel with a long stem over here. And I have filled a liquid at a point A. So this is the point A I can have. Now what I will do here is that I will keep this particular vessel into a water bath. That is nothing but hot water bath. In the sense, I am going to heat this particular this setup over here. So what happens? So if I want to heat the water which is there inside the vessel, before that, don't you think if I keep this whole setup inside or into a hot water bath, so what happens? Initially, the outer surface will get heated up, right? So in the sense, initially, this vessel is going to heat it up. So as a result, what I can expect here? So as a result, what you can observe over here? So initially, when I keep this whole setup inside the hot water bath, what happens? So there is an expansion of a vessel will take place initially, correct? So that what happens? If this vessel is going to expand, don't you think liquid which is there inside the particular vessel is going to decrease? The level of the liquid is going to decrease initially. So there is a possibility of decreasing water level will take place in where? Inside the vessel. So I can say this is a point B where decrease in water level will take place due to what? Expansion of the vessel. Why there is expansion of a vessel? Obviously, when you keep the whole setup inside a water bath or hot water bath, so initially the outer surface will get heated, right? So now, once your vessel is get heated up, don't you think heat can pass from one point to another point? As per your definition of heat, what do you mean by heat? Heat is a form of energy which flows from body at a higher temperature to body at a lower temperature. So initially, the body which is having a greater temperature outside, so that what happens? This outer surface which is having a greater temperature will move from where? Outer to inner surface. So inside the surface, what we have actually? Inside the surface we have liquid which is there in a cold case. So whatever temperature which is there, whatever hot temperature which is there outside the vessel, which is get transferred to inside. So that what happens? Increasing temperature will take place of a liquid over here. So that what happens? So there is a possibility of a expansion will take place. So liquid will rise. So liquid will expand now. So liquid can expand from where to where? Let us say it is a point C. There is a possibility of what? Expansion of a liquid will take place. So initially we have taken a liquid level up to A. Once you keep into a hot water bath, what happens? Vessel will get heated up. So as a result, what happens? Vessel is going to expand so that water level or a liquid level is going to comes down up to point B. Correct? So this is called as what? Apparent change. Okay? So this is called as apparent change. What is apparent change? A to B is apparent change. And next, once your liquid which is going to start heat, once your liquid is get heated, what happens? Liquid level is going to increase. When your liquid level is going to increase, so once your liquid is going to heat up, what happens? Liquid level can raise up to point B to point C. So this is a point B to point C, which is called as real expansion. Okay. So what I can say? Can I say? So I can say AB is what? AB, which is nothing but apparent expansion. Apparent. That is apparent expansion. Okay. And next, A to C or this A to C, which is called as a liquid expansion. So that is A to C, we can call it as a liquid expansion. The liquid expansion. And similarly, what is the actual expansion? What is the real expansion? From where to where? So BC is a real expansion. So I can say from B to C is called as real expansion. So what I can write over here? So altogether I can write it as, it looks somewhat like this. That is nothing but, so we can write that is the BC or BC, which is equal to, that is nothing but initially it is AB. That is AB plus AC. So AB is called as what? Apparent expansion, where AC is called as liquid expansion, where BC, which is called as what? So BC, which is called as what? Real expansion. This is how exactly we can find the expansion of a liquid over here. And this is one case, we can find over here. And your water, if I take water over here, okay, water in the particular measurement. So this water which exhibits a different kind of phenomena, that is called as anomalous thermal expansion of water. Anomalous thermal expansion of water. In the sense, water is not like other liquid. Water which can have a different phenomena than other liquid. In the sense, for example, if I take water which are at 0 degrees Celsius, right now your job is to take water in 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, so now there is a different phenomena which can exhibit in the sense, right now your water which is there in which temperature? 0 degrees Celsius. Now if I start heating this particular water, what happens? Do you think increase in, or do you think expansion will take place or contraction will take place? According to general things, than other liquid can expand initially, correct? But if I take a water over here, water is going to contract first. Up to which temperature you can have? See, right now your water which is there in which temperature? 0 degrees Celsius. If I increase the temperature of the water, what happens? There is a contraction will take place up to 4 degrees Celsius. Are you getting? So this phenomena we can call it as anomalous effect of water we can have. Okay. So when the water is heated from where? 0 degrees Celsius, it contracts for 0 degree to 4 degrees Celsius, and After 4 degrees Celsius, it is going to start expanding. So there is an expansion will take place after which temperature? 4 degrees Celsius. But 0 to 4 degrees Celsius, there is a contraction of liquid will take place. So this phenomena of liquid, this phenomena of water, we can call it as anomalous effect of water, we can say. So normally they used to ask in examination as well, explain that is the anomalous effect of what? So your job is to answer. Very simple. There is a contraction of liquid will take place when it is heated at 0 degrees Celsius, and it can contract up to 0 degree to 4 degrees Celsius. After 4 degrees Celsius, what happens? There is expansion of the liquid will take place. So this is the phenomena of water. It's called as what? Anomalous effect of water. Okay. So this is how exactly we can find in terms of a thermal expansion of a liquid. Okay. Fine. Well, dear students, we will see what exactly the ideal gas equation over here. Okay. So, ideal gas equation since it is a standard equation which can relate pressure, volume as well as temperature. So, if I say thermal expansion of a gas, so obviously your gas is also behaves it with respect to a temperature. So basically here pressure as well as volume comes into the picture whenever I say there is a thermal expansion of a gases. In a sense, at a constant pressure, at a particular constant pressure, what happens? If I increase the temperature, there is a cause of, due to this cause, there is a volume is also increases over there. So basically that's what I said, your pressure, volume and temperature are interrelated concept by using this ideal gas equation. So if I want to keep a pressure as a constant in a particular chamber, increase in temperature causes obviously there is an increase in volume. Okay, so this is how exactly it goes with the relation or basic functioning between volume, temperature as well as pressure over there. How? We'll see now. So this is the beauty of this ideal gas equation. So basically PV is equal to M into RT. So this is the ideal gas equation we have generally, which is known everywhere, where P which indicates the pressure, V which indicates the volume, and M which indicates number of moles, where R which indicates what? Universal gas constant. So what could be the value of this R we can have over here? This R can be taken it as a universal gas constant since it is a constant value. How we can take constant value? So at STP, in the sense standard temperature and pressure. So the pressure value we know. What is the pressure value we have at STP at the standard pressure? That is nothing but standard atmospheric pressure we have that we discussed right in the previous chapter. That is nothing but 1.03 10 to the power 5 Pascal. So this is the standard value of pressure we can have, right? And also what is the standard volume at STP we can have? It is the volume for 1 mole of a gas can contain, that is around 0.0224 meter cube we can have, meter cube, because it is a volume. And what is the standard temperature with respect to Kelvin? That is nothing but 273. So T is equal to 273 Kelvin. So for 1 mole of a gas, N can be 1 over here. So if I write with respect to R, so what I can write, it is nothing but the PV divided by T. So PV which is nothing but what? you substitute the value, that is 1.03 10 to the power 5 into volume, that is nothing but 0.0224 divided by temperature, that is nothing but 273, correct? So if you do so, you are going to have around 8.31. What would be its SI unit? What is the SI unit we can have over here? So obviously PV, which is nothing but the pressure energy that we have discussed while discussing about in the mechanical properties of fluid. We have discussed PV, which is nothing but the pressure energy. What is the SI unit of energy we can have? That is nothing but joule, correct? So joule, and here n is there, n goes to the denominator. So for 1 mole of a gas, that is 1 into this. So n, what is the SI unit of this m? That is nothing but joule per mole. Then what is the SI unit of temperature in terms of Kelvin? So this is how exactly we are supposed to remember the universal gas constant, where R is called as what? This R we can call it as universal gas constant. So this is R, we can call it as universal gas constant over here. And one more thing you have to remember, the relation between pressure and the temperature as well as volume. We have got a mini relation based on different scientists. We will start up with the first scientist, that is nothing but Boyle. According to Boyle's law, he has taken at constant temperature. So at constant temperature, at constant temperature, according to this, if T is going to have a constant, according to him, here R is also constant for 1 mole of the gas. If T is, if I make T as a constant, in the sense if I make a temperature as a constant, and pressure and volume, how they are interrelated, inversely proportional or directly proportional? Obviously, pressure is, the pressure of an gas is inversely proportional. That is inversely proportional to volume of a gas, right? So or else at a constant temperature, I can write based on this relation, pressure is inversely proportional to volume. So this is given by the relation of Boyle over here. So according to this relation, we have got this ideal gas equation. Okay, and also one more observation which is done by one of the scientists called as Charles law. So he has given one law. Which law? So according to his observation, at constant pressure, at constant pressure, what we can write? At constant pressure, if constant pressure, if I say, then volume of a gas is directly proportional to what? Directly proportional to temperature, right? So directly proportional to temperature, correct? So or else the equation what I can write? This volume of a gas is directly proportional to temperature. In a sense, if I make, let us take one chamber over here. Now I want to maintain like 1 atmospheric pressure. Okay, so let us maintain 1 atmospheric pressure in a particular chamber. So now how I can maintain a constant pressure? As the temperature increases, volume should increase. Then only I can say, then only I can make or then only I can keep a constant pressure inside a particular chamber. Yes or no? Yes. So similarly here, if I want to maintain a 273 Kelvin in a particular chamber, how I supposed to vary this pressure and volume over here? If pressure increases, what happens? These are inversely proportional. Volume should decrease, correct? So, for example, in a pressure cooker, if you decrease the volume, what happens? Obviously, the pressure is going to increase, correct? So, this is how exactly it is going to work over here. And one more relation we have got, there is nothing but Gay-Lussac law. The Gay-Lussac law. So, according to Gay-Lussac law, what he says that at constant volume, at constant volume, what we can say at constant volume, pressure of a gas, this is the pressure of an gas is directly proportional to temperature. At constant volume, pressure of an gas is directly proportional to temperature. So if it is so, what I can write over here? So at constant volume, I can write pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So this is given by Gay-Lussac law. So this is the basic condition we are supposed to remember whenever we discuss about thermal expansion of a gas. Okay. So your job is to remember, one is the ideal gas situation, that is nothing but PV which is equal to nRT. What is the universal gas constant we have? That is 8.31 joule per mole per Kelvin. So this is how exactly we are supposed to remember. And also by taking the help of different laws given by different scientists like Boyle, Charles and Gay-Lussac, we got that how your pressure and temperature are proportional, how a volume and temperature are proportional, also how temperature as well as both pressure as well as volume are interrelated. So these are the basic concepts we have got in this particular scenario, which we can find under the concept of thermal expansion of gas over here. Well, fine.